Hey guys.
Hey, it's week 3. I can't believe we are actually already at week 3 of December.
I feel like have you ever seen, I don't know if you've seen this clip, but there's a clip from SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs decides to be open 24 hours and he's
Mhm.
like every day he's like, "Day whatever," and he rings the bell and it makes me think because at some point they get like day 23 of nonstop service and they start digging it and everyone's like, "Ah." So it's
I
like
mean,
you're
as
like
many
day
live streams
3
as
and I'm
we're
like
doing,
week 3 and I'm like, I feel like I'm getting SpongeBob vibes here, but that's okay.
that's so funny. As many live streams as we've done, that's pretty much
Yeah.
almost what we're doing. Non-stop book podcast service.
Yeah. I look at my progress.
Dude, you're making so much progress.
I
I
know.
have maybe made it like 2 pages. But the problem isn't what you think it is for me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I'm actually
Explain.
not really having a problem reading her perspective. All right,
Okay.
I started chapter 4,
Okay.
and I actually like her perspective. The aspect of her embracing freedom, like I don't remember what, a soft bed feels like, or being warm or clean, or look at how much I've changed and I don't recognize myself. Like I actually got feels for her,
Cool.
which genuinely shocked me. So that was all nice.
Mhm.
Literally the only thing that's slowing me down is because I got back into Skyrim, and it's just like I'm playing Skyrim instead of reading. This would have happened with any book in
Yeah.
the place right now,
Okay.
but I'm
Just
committed. At
conveniently
this
happened
point, I'm a
at
little
the one
concerned.
that I wanted you to read so bad. Oh.
I will get it done. I
Uh-huh.
will finish it before the end of the month this year, like the end of
Uh-huh.
the year, the end of the month. Like I am so scared. But tonight's the season finale of Yellowstone, so I'm gonna watch that,
Mm.
and then
Excuses,
I'm gonna.
excuses, excuses. All I'm hearing is
I know,
excuses.
instead of dog shaming, it's like book shaming or whatever, like reader shaming. So you're making good progress. At least one of us is. But I know I have a couple articles and things.
Okay.
And I actually asked some of my
Oh, you went robotic for a minute. Oh, oh, you are froze. Okay. You there? No. Okay.
friends too, but if I mix that did, that my author people did talk to me about. So, because it would be nice to actually do like showcase more books,
Okay.
like cover
Um,
reveals and book releases as they come out.
did you say anything before that point? Because we went completely robotic and didn't hear a word of it.
Oh, I don't know. I was mostly talking to fill in the gap if because I didn't know what was going on your side of things. So
We're good. Okay.
yeah.
So, author friends that are giving book kind of a shout
Yes.
outs. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna have to go out of Discord. So if something crazy happens to me, I'm sorry.
Okay. We're
I
good.
gotta get it on my Facebook app on my phone. All right. So the first one is from my author friend Maria Henriks. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm butchering your name. Maria Henriksen. She said, I don't have a link and haven't done a cover reveal. Life's been most unexpected lately and derailed the progress on my book's release. And I told her that I relate because I had to delay 2 or 3 different releases this year, so I get it. She's
Yeah.
like, I do have a book description and a feel for the cover. It's Not Again Morgan's story, the third novel of the Not Again series, combines both sweet and edgy elements in this Christian romance set in 1989 that revolves around the games of deceit, lacrosse, and betrayal. Morgan is on top of the world when her life comes crashing down. Everything is at risk, including her life. Will Morgan have what it takes to make game-changing moves, or will it be the final game over for her? Find out if Morgan has the survival instincts to be a winner in this enthralling romantic suspense game called life. Not Again, Healing Hearts, one page at a time. So she has kind of like an Instagram post. I'm describing it for anybody who's also listening, and I don't know how to share my screen without messing everything up. So,
It's all
um,
right. We're good.
it's got it's this couple, this silhouetted couple on a beach with the sunset, and it's Not Again the series. And it says arriving 2025. So that's the first one. It actually looks really picturesque, honestly. Like Sunset Beach is always like chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first one, and the second one, I have to scroll to it. Okay. So this one is from Sarah Ashwood Blackwell, another author that I know. Redeeming the Dragon, an East of the Sun, West of the Moon retelling, Into the Enchanted. And it's Redeeming the Dragon. It's actually a really gorgeous cover. I'll have a link to both of these, or the first one doesn't have a link, but I'll have a link to this one in the description of this video when it goes on our channel,
Sweet.
like not the live version, but the regular
Yeah,
version.
when we re-upload it.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Redeem the Dragon. It's really pretty. It's got like a woman in front of a moon, and she's got magic in her hands, and it's at nighttime, so you can see the moon and the stars, but there's a dragon in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Let me click on the link, see if I can get the blurb. So it's on Amazon. It
Blurb.
looks like it's on Kindle Unlimited as well. So if anybody
Ooh.
has Kindle Unlimited,
Free
you
book.
can get it for free. Yep. What if her kiss reawakens the sleeping prince, but not to happily ever after, to disaster? An island
Oh.
chieftain's daughter, a fearsome beast, can veiled magic and forbidden love shatter an evil curse. The youngest daughter of a minor chieftain, Lorna, is living a quiet life on the peaceful shores of the Jeweled Isles. Until at the night, a terrible storm drags down her father's vessel. With the help of a fierce dragon, her father escapes drowning, but at a cost. In exchange for saving her father's life, the dragon demands one of his daughters, Lorna. Swept away from her island, her family, and all she's ever known, Lorna finds herself in a magical underground cave where invisible servants cater to her during the day. During the night, an unknown man visits her room without touching her. Although she suffers no harm, and despite her growing feelings toward the stranger, Lorna is determined to return to the Jeweled Isles. However, far more than simply her freedom is at stake. The dragon who brought her here and the man who visits her at night are both bound by an awful curse. To free herself, Lorna will have to free them as well, and that means undoing the harm of a fateful kiss, unveiling a magic gift she didn't know she possessed, surviving perilous journey and making a sacrifice that will either redeem them all or cause their ultimate destruction.
Ooh,
It's
that
one
one
of
sounds
11
good.
novels. It does. It sounds like Beauty and the Beast, actually, to
Mm-hmm.
me. But it's part of the Into the Enchanted series, which is a standalone collection of no spice fairy tale retellings where magic born heroines discover their happily ever after. So I'm all here for it. I love that kind of stuff. Especially no spice fairy tale retelling. So that sounds really good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely going to be checking that one out next year. So those were the two that I had to feature. Um, Hopefully I am not robotic or
No,
anything, and
you're
that
good.
my video. All
No,
right,
that works.
we're good.
Okay.
All right, so what you got?
Um. Okay. We can do like book check-ins at the end. Like
Okay.
just thought like overall thoughts on. I had a sticky note. That sticky note is gone. Like sticky notes are my complete thoughts, and when I lose a sticky
Yeah.
note, oh, it's under my phone. Okay. Anyway. Um. Let's see. Theories. That's what I was. Okay. So I wanted to clarify. I brought up a theory earlier on about how Tarn and Andarna were um based on Rebecca's dogs, and how the older eldest dog has died, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so this particular one, I don't know if I just didn't swipe through all the pictures the first time, but it kind of goes on. It says, um, you may be thinking, wouldn't this kill, like, if Tarn dies, but Violet lives because she's bonded to Andarna? And it goes on to say, and it says, you will be thinking, wouldn't this kill Zayden and Sagel? I'm probably saying her name wrong, because of the dragon bond. And it says, but Zayden wouldn't die because he is Venom and doesn't need a dragon to live. Unfortunately, though, this would kill just Sagel because she can't live without Tarn, um, because they are bonded. But the problem is, um, if Zayden is Venom now, he will most likely turn evil and he will become enemies with Violet again. Zayden will probably end up going with the other Venom to protect Violet, and he won't have to stay near Violet anymore because both of their dragons are dead. And that
Oh
was
no!
just what kept them together in the first place, because their dragons can't be apart. So Zayden and Violet will end up enemies again temporarily. I know.
Gosh, I don't know.
I know.
I like that. I kind of like that plot line.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I feel
They
like it
did.
would be
Did you
really
see?
feely.
Did you see where the blurb on the back of the book was released in another language and they translated it?
No.
You
What?
haven't read
Why did I
that?
just
Okay, hold on.
no?
Hold on. It doesn't quite make the most sense because in the kind of in the
Obvious
translation some of the
translation.
words got are not
Yeah.
worded very well in English grammar wise,
Yeah.
but
What a clever idea though for her to do that. Like release the blurb in
uh-huh.
another language.
Uh-huh. And
Leave us feeling.
it kind of confirms a little bit of one of the theories that I'd heard a little bit about Indarna.
Okay.
Um
Okay. I'm so excited. By the way, while we're waiting for her to find that, let us know in the comments how you guys are reading, how your guys' reading is going this month. What are you guys reading? Have you finished a book yet? Are you still in one? Let us know. I'm excited. And also tell us your thoughts as you read through the books. We're eager to hear like what you guys are reading and what you guys think of it. So
I don't know. I can't find the one that I saw. Hold on. Let
I
me
can't believe
just
I didn't see that.
yeah, it was one of them I saw in passing. And then
Yeah. Take another drink.
I feel like this is where I need the Jeopardy music in the background.
Do 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 do.
Okay, so it was a French publisher, and they posted the French back cover blurb for Onyx Storm.
Okay.
Um, hold on, this lady is talking, and I want to just be able to read the blurb. Okay,
Yeah, I get there. I get
no,
it.
wait, she edits it, and then her head moves in the way. Okay, got it. All right, it says the war takes a massive turn, but the biggest risk is now within. Zayden has been infected and represents a danger, more in love than ever. Violet is determined to save him and refuses to deliver her secret, even risking her life and that of others. And that's not the only reason to worry. The venoms, it says venoms, but I'm assuming it's venom,
And yeah,
are slowly infiltration, so infiltrating
infiltrating.
to win the battle. Violet is entrusted with the mission of searching for the seventh species of dragon.
Ooh. It
So,
sounds so good.
um, okay, let me see. I thought I had one more, maybe. Oh, okay. Get this little bit of a fact there. It says when you
All
realize
right.
Brennan Sorengale, the brother, is bonded to a orange dragon, but
Okay.
so is Jack Barlow and Major Varish. All of the bad guys. Two of the main bad people are
Oh,
bonded to
okay. I was
orange
like, what's the
dragons,
significance?
and now the brother
Oh.
that's supposedly dead and not dead was also
So are we
bonded to an
thinking he's
orange
gonna be
dragon.
bad?
So is
Are
that?
we
I
thinking he's
mean,
gonna be bad?
okay, writer brain. Do you think that would be? Do you think there's any kind of would there be a tie to that or like? I just don't know what her process is going to about having characters bonded to dragons. I don't know if there's like a thought process or if she just picks them
Yeah.
based on what she thinks their
On the one
personality. I
hand,
don't know.
from my perspective, on the one hand, it could be random. Like in my head, if I'm inventing a bunch of creatures, sometimes I'll pick out the one that like when you're writing or planning, like it's the first thing that pops into your head. So the
Yeah.
orange whatevers could be the common one that pops into her head.
Oh,
However,
okay.
when you're making your villains or your antagonists, usually everything associated with them is kind of like
Yeah.
you like it's everything's purposeful.
Yeah.
So the fact that somebody has something similar to a villain could be
Mm-hmm.
indicating foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could be. It depends on her personal process, really. So it's definitely an intriguing
Honestly,
thought, though.
it wouldn't surprise me if the brother is bad. I don't know. I just felt
I
I
think I'd
thought
be
it
a
was
little surprised,
I
but not too.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he turns around being
Mhm.
bad because I always thought that whole situation was weird. I think it's weird that
It was. It
that
really
it was just even with the father. It's just that whole situation felt off. Feels off. And so it's like I
something happened. Something went down. You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? Like I
Yeah, the
always
venom
felt like
has
there
something
needed
to
to be
do with
more
it.
of an explanation.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to do with the venom. So hear me out. If the dad is a venom, like if we think
Yeah.
the dad was a venom and Violet's half venom or whatever,
Yeah.
and we think Brennan may be bad, do we think that he may have gotten turned? Like the dad may have turned Brennan at some point
To save him?
to save him? Maybe he really did almost die and that's how he really survived or something.
Mhm. I
You know
mean,
what
it
I'm
would make
saying?
I think the dad has some I think the dad's venom now or something because like if he was like essentially shoving like raised Violet to be a scribe and to hide away in this library forever. And it's like all of her other siblings were all writers and they come from like a family of writers and it's like the only way I could
Yeah.
see him like I could see him trying to keep her in the dark and the only way to do that so that way she would never learn anything
Is
about
to
the
keep her in
venom
the scribes.
is to keep her as
Mhm.
a scribe. Whereas, and that's where it kind of makes a little twist, just because we always see mom as the antagonist, like the absent mother that doesn't, the unloving absent mother, and it's like, was mom actually the good one in this scenario, in this family? Because the mom's
Yeah.
the one that
It's
pushed her to be
really
a
I
writer,
love that.
and
I
it's
love the
like,
irony of that.
I know,
Yeah.
I would love the
It's
irony
so
of
good.
that. Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
so good.
okay,
All right.
um,
So,
yeah, I think that may have been the only one I've got.
okay. All right, well, I had a few. So there's this article, and again, all the articles will be linked below if I can remember. So, but this one is wait, I read that wrong. 8 cozy fantasy romance books to warm your heart this winter. So basically 8 cozy romantasy. And
Yeah,
so I could go through them really quickly, but it brought about another topic that I wanted to discuss with you and also people in the comments below.
yeah.
How do you feel about the concept of cozy fantasy, whether it's romantic or not? And just it's a new thing that's kind of springing up that people are kind of being obsessed over lately, where it's like, I prefer action, high stakes, and it seems like, oh, it's just this magical coffee shop, and the whole book takes place there, and it's just this really
Yeah.
sweet, not high stake kind of laid back vibe. And
Yeah.
I
It
can see how people would be appealed by it, but I wanted to get your thoughts
it
on the
feels
genre.
like when I see a cozy fantasy book, it doesn't look fantasy to me. It doesn't feel fantasy to me. It feels like more closer to contemporary. But at the same time, it's
Yeah,
like when I think of fantasy, the reason why I like reading fantasy is because you have like the plot twists, the character growth, and the character development. And you see like the angst and the love and the heartbreak and the gut wrenching moments where it's like, I mean, I had so many of them. Like, because when you woke up earlier this morning, and Alicia and I were playing Minecraft, and I'm like, there were moments where I'm just like, what in the world, where it just gets
yeah,
gritty and intense, and it's like, for me, I don't know if that's more of if I'm becoming more of like a high fantasy type of person, and that's
yeah.
probably the case. Um, but I do like a good romantasy. That's the thing too. Is like I like romantasy, and I'm beginning to really enjoy high fantasy. And so it's like the idea of like simplifying that and softening that just doesn't, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I It's not my cup of tea. I can understand
Like,
the
and
appeal
I
to
would
other people.
appreciate,
I like
yeah.
too many high stakes.
Well,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
I always
I
appreciate,
can
I always
mhm.
appreciate
Go ahead.
like when, like, and you gotta appreciate and put respect behind like the thought and like the time that these writers put into these kind of novels, and I get that, and it's just like there
Yeah.
are people out there that enjoy those genres. It's like it's just a preference on genres or like preference on the types of movies that you watch. It's just like it just depends on you. If you don't like it, and
Yeah.
it's like just don't read
And
it. That's my motto. If I
and
don't
for
like it, I'm
me
not gonna read it.
Mhm. And for me, what I do like is when new genres or subgenres kind of sprout up. I like seeing
Yeah,
people branching away from the
yeah,
boxes that are
yeah.
typically right now. And so
Hmm.
that's the one thing that I do love about it is that okay, here's this new genre that's springing up, and so it gives writers like me hope that like maybe we'll do something here. But because for me,
Yeah,
I can still see the fantasy elements. Like you can have a fantasy coffee shop, and there's a dragon companion that sits on her shoulder, and there's orcs coming in after battle, but for me it's like there's no the high stakes thing. I
yeah,
like the world's ending, there's magic and dragons and battles and
yeah,
all kinds of epic
yeah.
stuff.
Like
But
corrupt kingdoms with on the brick of like
Yeah.
destruction, like that whole. That's my thing. I
Yeah.
like a lot of the ones I read are
Corrupt
about.
kingdoms oppressing society,
Mhm,
oppressing other kingdoms,
yeah,
high
like,
stake, like
and there's
arenas
times,
and
yeah.
battles and
Well,
gladiator kind of stuff
and
too.
there's times where I'll dabble into sci-fi as well. Like the
Yeah.
fractal, like one of the first books I read this year was called Fractal Noise, I think. Fractal Noise,
Hmm.
something like that. And it's like it was like a prequel to another book, and I didn't realize it. So I'm like, oh, like I really liked this one. It sounded really good. But it's like space type of thing. Like I
Yeah.
like space. I always have. And it's like
Yeah, me too.
reading into sci-fi, space, fantasy, sci-fi, space type stuff. Like I'll dibble into sci-fi too, but it's like I won't dive completely into there because there like many times sci-fi will include more like scientific type concepts, and I'm
Yeah,
not
it's called
extremely
large
knowledgeable.
sci-fi. I literally,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
super knowledgeable in that, so you know what I'm saying. But I don't
yeah,
know.
100%. That's the same reason why I can't read it.
If I find
I
like a
I love and value authors who can write that because it's just so much like
yeah,
plausible
oh yeah,
scientific stuff, even if it's not
and
real.
making it make
And it's
sense
just
is
like
huge.
hard sci-fi is high level of intelligence. It's like above my head, to be honest. If we're being honest, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
But
I get that.
yeah, according to this article though, 8 cozy romantasy books. They're Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Weaned Cats, Talking Plants. It kind of resumes farming video games like Stardew Valley. The protagonist in the book has to learn how to farm, make a jam, open business, befriend townspeople, save the little island she washes up on. It's
Hmm.
paired up with a sweet, comforting romance, and that's pretty much the book. Um, The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. Magical Zoo, Extinct Animals, a Phoenix Breeding Program, College, Arch Rivals, and Love. And that's pretty
Ooh.
much Phoenix Keeper. I kind of, for me, my thing is I'm curious. And so I
Yeah,
kind of want to, like, I haven't read a rom com yet. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to delve just to see what the genre is, like, what's
yeah,
it about, like, actually reading it. But
yeah.
Homegrown Magic by Jamie Paxton and Rebecca Podos, which is coming out March 11th, 2025, apparently. Um, Cottagecore inspired cozy fantasy. Cottagecore. I've never heard that term before.
Hmm.
With farming game vibes.
Yeah,
I'm actually curious if Michael would be interested in this, maybe, because he loves the whole sci-fi version where like an anime person gets stuck in a video game
yeah,
and they have to like, you know, grow their I don't know, land or something. I forget what the genre is called, but
yeah.
Best Hex Ever by Nadia El Fassi. Kitchen Witch. It's about a kitchen witch named Dina who has been hexed. Everyone falls in love with her, immediately starts to have bad luck.
Oh,
Which is kind of a funny premise. She meets Scott. She's committed to finding a way to unhex herself in order to have a chance at a future with him. That one's
aw.
actually kind of funny. That's got a
That
funny
one
premise.
sounds kind of
So
cute.
yeah. So this one has a really pretty Chinese looking cover. It's called Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao. It's coming January 2025. Okay. She's inherited her father's magical pawn shop. It's like no other. You sell your deepest regrets there. On her
Oh,
first morning as the pawn shop's new owner, she finds the shop destroyed, an acquisition stolen, and her father missing. With a charming stranger to help her out, she journeys through the mystical world in order to find her dad.
hmm.
That one actually sounds pretty good too. So, The
Yeah.
Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. Winter season. Okay. Mika Moon is a lonely witch, never gotten close to anyone in her life, afraid of someone finding out she has magic, but she receives a mysterious message asking her to come to a place called Nowhere House to train 3 young witches on how to control their magic. She takes a chance to do something for the first time in her life. Next up is Deja Brew by Celestine Martin. Um, okay, it's the third installment of her Elemental Love series. Serena makes a wish to have a second chance to fix her life on the worst October of her life. Funnily enough, the world listens to her. The next morning, she wakes up and realizes that October started, and she has a chance to do it all over again, but better. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So some of those sound okay, but
Yeah. They didn't
definitely
sound
I'm
too
interested
bad.
in what like
And I
yeah.
think it's just like I don't know. I think it's just they didn't really like they sounded like good books, but it's like I didn't really have a big push to read them, and I think probably it's because
Hmm.
I'm in such an intense read right now that it's just like I
It's hard to look at anything
yeah,
else. That's how I was when I read Bloodguard. So,
yeah.
but
All right. How is the Throne of Glass going? Like what are your
well,
thoughts so
yeah, like I
far?
said. Um, like I said, I got really sympathetic with her when it was, like, after prison, like, I've changed and, like, look at like, she looked at herself in the mirror and,
Yeah,
she like, the whole she doesn't remember what it's like to feel full or safe or, that
yeah,
kinda stuff because 'cause she's been in prison for so long, like, even dancing in the sun. I do really the one thing that I find interesting, and this is an interesting topic in general too, is that typically when you have the strong female lead trope done
mhm,
wrong in a way that I hate, like Ray, for example, or any other number, what the really like Captain Marvel, I think, is a good example of one I despise because they're
yeah, I do
arrogant
too.
and they come off as more masculine because they portray more masculine traits, and it rubs me the wrong way. And on top of the arrogance and all the other stuff I don't like. And the
Yeah,
one thing that I do like about her is that she really has this cool feminine side because typically when you have a strong female lead, like a lot of them don't
yeah,
like to show that the girl likes dresses and likes
yeah,
makeup and
yeah,
like
and
all the typical like a princessy kind of style
I
stuff, but she really wants to just
yeah,
go live a nice
and
life, have a lot of dresses and buy a lot of clothes.
yeah,
And to me, that's really interesting for a strong female lead to actually throw that in there. And I actually appreciate that.
yeah. Um, I'm so glad you said that because I've honestly been thinking about that here lately, and it's like, um, oh, sorry, that's the dryer. Um,
I couldn't hear
um,
anything, so mine was going off too.
that's good. The girl that was the famous rugby player that played in the Olympics that was on Dancing with the
Yes.
Stars. What was her name?
Oh, I just watched that season too. Oh my gosh. Um, Female, hold on. Rugby. I don't know how to spell rugby.
But Dancing with
Dancing
the
with the Stars. Thank you, Google. Ilona Mayer.
Yes, I love her. Like, and like she honestly has had this kind of stance that it's like just because you're a strong female doesn't mean you have to be completely masculine either. And it's like she like totally
Yeah.
pushes that like embraces and pushes that feminine side of herself even though she's a very strong woman. And it's like I
I
love
mean,
that.
she lifted
And
her
it's
partner.
like,
She did this on the guy
oh yeah,
in
and it's
several
like,
of their dances,
well,
you know?
and it's like
Yeah.
the thing too is like I think the strong female roles that I love are the ones that aren't afraid. Oh my gosh, my dryer.
I can't hear it, I promise you. So,
Let's hope my elderly neighbors aren't in bed yet because that was really loud.
yeah.
um, but uh, it's just like I love
The
a
the ones you
strong
like the
female
most.
character that
Mhm.
aren't afraid to take advice from people and admit that they need people by their side to help them. That was probably
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched any of the Captain Marvel stuff, so I can't say this may be a very uninformed opinion, but from the outside perspective, it seemed almost like her character thought that she could solve all the problems, that she didn't need anyone else to help her accomplish this goal because she
Yeah.
had it on her own.
I think you
I
just
don't that
nailed it.
I've never
Yes.
watched it, so I can't justify that with fact. That's just my speculation on what I saw from the outside perspective because I really had no interest in. I'm not a huge Marvel fan. The newer stuff has kind of
I only
pushed
saw
my
her in a
made me
few
less
the
and less of a fan.
crossover.
Like I'm an older like
Yeah, wait, yeah,
the
that makes sense.
original Avenger movies, like the number one in each of the series, each of the different ones, like number one in Captain America, number one in the new Thor, like Iron Man, Thor, like all number one. The first movies are like my
Yeah,
favorites,
basically.
and a lot of the OG stuff before the new era, and it's like
100.
I so I never watched it, so I can't justify that with fact or debate anybody on it. That's just how it looks like from an outside perspective. But it's like even the
Based on the
one
crossover episodes, yeah.
like it's
But
like
I think
even
you nailed what my problem is,
yeah.
though, and I never could pinpoint it
Mhm.
exactly, but I think that's kind of the
Yeah.
root of it is somebody who's arrogant and doesn't accept help from other people. And don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, I don't like when guy characters do it either.
Yeah, I don't
Like it's
either.
just when it's portrayed by the writer as a positive trope,
Yeah.
as a positive trait, instead of admitting that it's a negative trait
Mhm.
universally, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
And
if you're not asking for help, that's a negative trait that you need to work on to try to get better at. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. And it's
so
like anytime I've seen a character that has decided to go off on their own, and I use like non-gender specific comments there because they could be with guys or girls, any character
Yes.
that decides that they don't need other people's help and that they've got everything taken care of on their own, ends up putting themselves into some really crappy situations, and is essentially has
Or
to
at least they
humble
should.
themselves to the point where they accept somebody's help. And it's like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I think honestly,
Yeah.
I think you and I probably could agree on that fact. Like, I love a strong female role. I'm all for
Mulan's my
that.
favorite Disney
I
princess.
I
Mulan and
just want
Pocahontas.
I want a strong female role that's not arrogant and that's willing to humble themselves and accept help from other people.
Mhm. Like when you look at like Mulan, like look at all that she had to overcome in order to become who she was. And even then she
Mm-hmm.
was still like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like she was running around the capital trying to convince them that the Huns were there and nobody was listening to her. Like she didn't know
Yeah.
what she's like, get off the roof, get off the
No.
roof, get off the roof. Like she didn't know what she was
Yeah.
doing and she
Yeah.
kind of just improvised everything.
Yeah.
And she had help from Mushu. Like
Well,
I mean he's a
and
silly
there was the
he's a
other
silly sidekick,
and
but
all
like
the
she
soldiers
had
that
help.
and all the soldiers that she come into contact with along the
Yeah.
way
Yeah,
too
and
helped significantly as well.
Chen Po, Yao Chen Po, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah.
Ling, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Mine. I made some.
yes.
Okay, I went to bed on chapter, I think was like 23 maybe. I went to bed at that
Ooh.
point.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And then I read, I'm in the middle of chapter, no, it was like 22, 23, something like that. I'm on in the middle of chapter
Yeah.
30, 31 now. And so
You're making a
I
really good
passed
progress.
the 25% mark. So I passed
You guys
just
did your
past the fourth.
goal.
Yeah. So,
Yay! Everybody comment yay with a clapping emoji for her. You did
okay.
it.
So I was honestly the last about 5 chapters, which I read while AFKing in Minecraft, by the way. um, as a spotter. Anyway, um, honestly, it was like I was concerned that she was going to like because at one point I was thinking this particular character is going to get reconnected with everybody, and I'm like, okay, it's getting closer to happening. It's happening. It's happening. And then I'm like, well, what if this whole plan backfires and we get just close enough, and then it's ripped away from us again? And I'm like, I don't know if I can handle the traumatic experiences that has been going on to this character for the entire book, and I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that character being in that position for the entirety of the book. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that. And I got to looking, and I'm like, to be fair, I could see her closing out this particular instance because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other plot lines going on all at once on top
Oh
of
my
this
god.
one. So I'm like, I think it's safe to say that each of these little things are going to be solved a chunk at a time. Um, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm running out of emotional overload sticky notes.
That's funny. You're gonna have to get
Yeah,
more. Says a
yeah.
lot, though.
I've got a whole new pack that I a whole new stack that I haven't used yet. So we'll see. And I've got some pink ones on here too. So I've
That's
got
cool.
plenty. But yes.
Gotcha.
So I'm enjoying it. I'm probably not going to get into any other book other than this one this month. But I'm
Hmm.
honestly I'm not gonna jump straight into Crescent City.
Yeah.
I've decided
Kind of
that.
need like a Sarah J. Maas
I
palette cleanser.
well yeah, and because I've read so many of hers this year.
You should read
Like I think
Bloodguard.
like a decent I don't know.
I've been waiting
I'm not
to get your reaction to that one.
okay.
So,
Okay. But I think the first one I'll end up reading probably is um
oh yeah, I forgot you
this
haven't read
one.
that one yet.
Yeah. So
I'm
it's
gonna work
probably
on
that
that in
one. I
January.
may and I may go back and read The Cruel Prince again and continue in that series because I liked The Cruel Prince. I just um yeah. So there's a few things that I want to try to do. I think I want to do some like smaller, like books like this size, this size. Like I have, I think I'll feel accomplished with big books for now. And the Crescent City
Yeah,
series,
you're
they're
good.
all big books. So I'm like, I think I'm good on the big books for now. I need several.
Oh, you did Immortal in November too, so it's like you
Yeah,
had really big books at the beginning of November and this month, so you
yeah,
kind of need like a little palate cleanser break
yeah.
from big
I
books.
think, I
So
think, no, I think, it was in October.
October. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
was
for
the
October
tail end because we
because,
were still reading it when we got
hmm
into um
yeah,
the TBR.
yeah, because
It's
I
not
remember
October.
that was
It was
that was the
November.
one where we you edited all of our shorts together and it was one video. So,
I did that for November too, but yeah.
oh, okay. But it was on your.
I
It was
don't
like it
remember.
was
It
the
was one of
original.
those.
Yeah, one of those anyway. Um,
Yeah.
um, trying to think of anything else.
So yeah, my next yeah, I had a couple more things.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
Um, everybody is understands the whole being strapped for cash and not having enough money, especially not having enough money for books. So I wanted to talk about BookBub is actually like I've been on BookBub for a long time. So anytime I review a book, I review it on Amazon, Goodreads, and BookBub. I'm also on there as an author, so all my books are on there. But they have like you can look at their free ebooks list and their deals list. So they have regular books listed, but
Mm-hmm.
anytime anybody puts a free book on like on Amazon and they list it free for a couple days, it'll be
Mm-hmm.
listed here. And so you can find a lot of really good books that are like book deals that are done. And so I wanted to tell everybody about BookBub because there was a couple that popped up, but now I'm getting a
Is
completely
it
different
book
list.
and then B-U-B?
Book and then Bub. Yeah, B-U-B.
Okay.
So and I found a couple that were actually free at the moment that looked good, but I can't find them again. But just BookBub in general, and you can scroll through and find all
Hmm.
kinds of different free ones. And you can follow authors and you can also review books and then list out book recommendations. Which is kind of a
Hmm.
fun. That's why I always review books on BookBub, even if it's not as popular. So on average, you'll get like even some famous books, some famous authors, like theirs are not. They don't have a lot of rates on there because it's not that big of a
Yeah.
website yet,
Yeah.
but I cannot find. There's a couple like Christian. Here it is, The Last He Left Behind. And it's actually free right now. So I was gonna go on Amazon and get that one
Mm-hmm.
just because it's a it's a historical Scottish romance, and I love those. So fresh from battle, Locke McLean returns home to set his lands to rights. Is captivated by Mari, the woman whose heart he broke a decade ago. But is she willing to give him a second chance? So it's a second chance historical romance.
Aw.
So that one looks really good. So I'm definitely gonna be getting that one. And then there was a couple of like Christian devotionals that I can't find again. So I just wanted to tell
Cool.
everybody because not a lot of people know about
No,
BookBub,
I
but you can
didn't.
also join them for free. Like I don't know if it's their newsletter or whatever, but when you sign up, they'll send you free and discounted books to your email every
Oh,
week or
okay.
every so often.
Huh. That's
So it's a
definitely
good way if you're strapped for cash
worth
and you
checking
want some
out
free
for
books.
sure.
Yeah. So and then lastly, the only other thing that I wanted to discuss about, because I kind of like didn't know, I guess I knew, but like didn't really think about the TikTok ban that's rumored to happen. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or
Yeah.
not, or if
In
it's actually
January. It's
like it actually is happening.
in
Um,
January. Yeah.
but the US court denies the plea to pause the TikTok ban. So it looks like it's actually going to happen in January. So, like, what the heck is, because I'm just now getting on TikTok and authors are kind of shifting over there because that's the way to sell books. But it's like now
Yeah.
we're going to
Not
have
for
to,
long. Yeah.
like, what the heck?
I think I've heard a lot
So,
of. I've
what do
heard
you
several
think?
people mention Lemonade. Lemonade. I made an account ages like year and a half, couple of years ago, when it was first
Mm-hmm.
introduced. It's made by the same people that made TikTok, so it's essentially TikTok but slightly different. It has a slightly different
Right.
arrangement. I don't know. Um, I am at like an impasse with TikTok at the moment because it feels like every 3 videos is an ad to try to get me to buy something off of TikTok Shop. And it's like I
Oh
was
yeah.
one of those people that my original first account, which I deleted several years ago for various reasons. But the very first account I had was when it was Musically, and I loved Musically. It felt like Vine, but better. Like not better, but it felt like a newer version of Vine. And then as it's evolved, it feels almost like a marketplace now, and I hate to see it go, and I honestly don't feel comfortable with them deciding that TikTok's bad, but all these other social media platforms that are in cahoots with everybody are okay.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing to
And it's
me,
very confusing because I
but I
have
haven't
not
followed
I
it very
because
closely.
I don't look into politics, that kind of stuff. I don't, I'm just living my daily life. Like I'm just trying to
Yeah,
survive until Friday. Like that's my life. Like
that's
I'm a
funny.
middle school teacher that just needs to survive until Friday. So it's like, honestly, if TikTok gets banned, then it's going to save me a significant amount of scrolling hours. So may not, may
Mhm.
not, I don't know. But
I
it's
feel
like there's
like
a
the
lot of
benefits
people
could
that
be good
depend on
to
TikTok.
society and young people in generally, but
Yeah.
it's like as a market, like that's kind of where my marketing was kind of going to shift was TikTok and
Yeah.
stuff, and because of book talk and trying to get waves there. So I guess I'll just stick with Instagram and Facebook, but I I don't know, it's just like I guess I like didn't follow the story close enough to actually be like, "Oh, this is
Yeah, it's
happening."
been
So it's
going
kind of
on for a
like
long.
I'm in shock.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
been
knew
going
it
on
was, but I didn't
majority.
know.
It's been a thing for a
Yeah, like
majority
I
of
just
this year. It's been going. They've gone back and forth about the whole thing, and
I guess and yeah, and I guess that's why I didn't think it was actually going to
mhm,
happen because it was so back and forthy. And so for me, I'm
yeah.
just kind of like,
I
okay,
think
it's
they
actually
just.
happening.
I think they just
I'm
got
kind
us
of in
all.
shock right now.
They got us all distracted with other things, just so that way it could slide under the radar and eventually get passed through.
Yeah.
There,
So I
there's
wonder if
other
it's going
things
to
that
be
were
taken
brought up.
down off the Play
The
Store and if
whole
you're going to have to like uninstall it off your
like,
phone and like all that stuff.
yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I think it'll just be like where
Yeah,
the app is shut down and it's no longer available in the app store. That's probably what'll happen.
probably. Yeah. I'm interested
Um,
to see how younger people are reacting, like who are actually like on the app a lot more.
yeah,
Because like we're older, like I've survived without it before.
yeah,
I'll make do without it now. I'm not on it ever
yeah,
just to
yeah,
post my daily. It'll be one less social media platform for me to try to manage. Honestly, I can barely manage what I've got now.
yeah,
But so I'm just kind of interested to see how people who like live and thrive and like exist on TikTok are reacting and
yeah.
stuff, especially like TikTok creators who are only famous on TikTok and like who
Oh
like
yeah,
TikTok influencers basically because that's kind
yeah,
of like their how they're making income and stuff. But
yeah. And
it's an
it's
interesting thought. What do you guys think? Let us know in the
yeah,
comments below. Whoopsie, I hit a button on my computer. Okay,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm a little worried I won't finish this by the end of the month and the end of the year and actually miss my reading goal, even though I did over my reading goal for the year because I didn't even set one or think that I think my average was like 3 or 4 books the
yeah,
last couple of years. And so I read 19. So I like skyrocketed this
yeah,
year, especially with us starting our podcast. It's got me to reading steadily, but
yeah,
I didn't realize it was the 15th. So like Christmas is going to be here. New
yeah.
Year's is going to be here and then the New Year's going to be here and I hope I can get the book done.
I'm
So,
sure you can.
we'll see. Do you think that you're going to get yours done by the end of the month or you think it's going to take you January as well?
Hmm. I I don't know. If I have several days like today where I can read, then yeah, I think I'll get finished. Like this week, I probably won't be able to read as much because we have Christmas break, which means grades have to be finalized and all that jazz.
Yeah. It's a lot to get done before
Um,
then.
but yeah, if I have moments like last night and tonight where I just sit down and read, because last night I did like the hybrid reading where I listened to the audiobook as I read. Um,
Mhm.
and that was helpful. I liked that. And then today when I just read on my own, you know.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I thought my dog was doing something.
when's Echo not getting into stuff?
Usually he's doing sometimes when he lays down and sleeps, he stretches and his claws scrape against the
Oh,
carpet, and it
mm-hmm.
scared me because I didn't know what it was. So I was
Yeah.
like, "What?" And then I couldn't see him, so that's kind of what that was.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
But
Well, I'm hopefully we'll make more progress. I hope to get this done.
mhm.
Um, I
You know
don't want
what?
to like fall
Um,
behind
one
because
thing that I've
I've not had
seen,
such a good year.
one thing I've seen people do is like on at least on TikTok, they do what are called like reading sprints where they set a timer for so many minutes and they do a reading sprint and then they read and read and read and then or like writing sprints or whatever and then you stop when the timer goes off and then you kind of chat and whatever for so many minutes, talk to chat or whatever, and then you do another reading sprint. So that might be something
Mm-hmm.
to think about.
That
Like,
would be
and you're like,
interesting.
and it was like,
'Cause I've done writing
it's on
sprints
like a
before.
TikTok live, so it's like that might be something to think about.
Interesting. I've never gone live on TikTok, but since it's being banned, apparently I got to do it at least once, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Can you is it
Like, goodbye, TikTok.
does Instagram have a live feature on it?
Yeah,
It
it
does.
does.
It
I've
does.
just never gotten people to come on there, so I've
Ah,
used it twice and it hasn't been worth doing because I've never had anybody watch me.
hmm. I just didn't even realize it had a live feature.
Yeah. It like you can comment and like and things too, so.
Okay, last minute book drop as of like 6 hours
Alright.
ago. Okay, Crown of Naxia Universe, a complete reading order. Like
Ooh,
6 hours
okay.
ago, like no joke. I just opened Instagram. Okay,
There's like 3 books.
more books have been revealed. The number. Okay, there's gonna be six. There's
So
like
excited.
six total. Okay, so Serpent
Okay.
and Wings of Night is first.
Okay.
Six Scorched Roses is two.
Okay.
Um, it's an optional novella, so it's 1.5.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Um, Ashes and the Star-Cursed King is two.
Okay.
2.5 is Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which I didn't realize was a thing. So now I'm gonna have to order that one before I can read three.
You were just saying that you wanted to read 3 after this, right?
Yes, but the first novella,
Oh,
but the Six Scorched Roses was such a sweet, like a cute, sweet, just like who knew it would be intense as a novella. It was good. I loved it. And then there's
I gotta read Throne of Glass first, apparently,
there's book
stupid wheel.
you need to get
Sorry.
into this series because
It
like
looks good kill.
okay, ma'am, there like Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storm, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash are all good. You need to get through the slow
I'm
book
trying to get there. Huh, well, you know
and
what?
the
You introduced me to
Assassin's
Skyrim
Blade.
with mods, so this is technically all on you anyway.
It's
I'm
called
just kidding.
self control, ma'am. Didn't you take your mods crashing as a sign that you needed to read? There was a
I read
sign.
4 chapters in one day, and then I read 1 page for the last 2 days. I've read, like, 3 pages, so it's been, like, a page a day just to keep up my reading streak, honestly.
Yeah.
But in my defense, I got to binging Yellowstone
Oh,
because Yellowstone season 5.5 came out, but
I didn't even finish what I was saying. Okay, so
yes,
there's
the
book
list.
4, untitled cover and title to be revealed. 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
The
So
two that
basically, there's a new
okay, and
novella.
then they're
Yeah,
split up into
2 and
duets,
3.
which I love this kind of concept. So books 1 and 2 are the Nightborn duet following the House of Night. Books 3 and 4 are following are the Shadowborn duet following the House of Shadow, and for books 5 and 6 are the Bloodborne duet following the House of Blood. So each of the different houses of vampires has duets based
I love
off
the
them.
concept.
I know, I do
So,
too.
kinda gave me justification for one of my series is it was gonna do something similar to that, but I didn't know how to pull it off because I was like, "You can't have a
Yeah.
series within a series." I was like, "Well, actually, yes, you can have a series within a series." So
Yeah.
it kinda helped me figure out how I should structure mine because I was like, "I don't know how to do this.
But
I've got series within series,
I
and I
hadn't really
just
seen that
it's
done, but at
cool."
least I maybe I'm just kind of uncultured, but I hadn't really ever seen that
I haven't
done
either.
before. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh hey. All right, so that
Yep.
was just random news that I saw on Instagram as I opened the app.
Love it. Alright, well, I think that's it for today, guys. Let us know
Yeah.
again how you're doing, what you're reading, what's going
Yes.
on with you guys,
And
and what
if
you think of
you
the TikTok ban.
yeah, and if you enjoy the content, make sure you like and subscribe and all that jazz. For
Yeah.
anybody new
We
that
randomly
doesn't,
got a bunch of
I know.
subscribers last night, so that was
Well,
nice.
and to,
Pleasant surprise.
yeah, and so like to give it a little bit of an explanation, we both have access to the same account, and what we do is that we pick a list of books for the month, and we have to read books from that list. Um, and what we do is that we'll make shorts throughout the week on our progress. Some are spoilers, some are not. And then 2 or 3 times a week, anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week, we'll make live streams with our check-in updates and stuff like that. Um,
Yep, with bookish news and content
yeah.
and theories and stuff.
So if
So
you see two separate people uploading onto this channel, that's why. We don't live in the same house.
we don't.
We just have
And
access to
I'm
the
sure
same
the
account.
backgrounds don't look close either because it's like my walls are this ugly yellowish brown.
Aw,
And it's like you got the cleanest, like most pristine white, like white walls. And I'm just like, man.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do a shit in front of my Christmas
There's
tree or
like
something
there's
sometime.
like no decorations on my walls because I have to my rent my contract with my landlord says that I have to use the tiny nails. So yeah, I just don't have any decorations.
At the apartment,
That's
we
why
weren't allowed to.
they look so white because I just don't have any wall decorations.
That's funny.
Like
I love it though.
I have bookshelf and floor decorations, but other than that, there's
I have a
Grogu,
bookshelf, but it's
giant
beside
stuffed
me.
Grogu.
So
Yeah.
out here, and then my other one's out there. So
Oh
But
goodness.
but yeah, that's it for today.
Whew,
So we
I gotta
will see
quit
you
yawning.
guys middle of this week or next week, depending on when we do a
Yeah.
check-in next. So sometimes we do twice a week, sometimes once a week. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Kind of depends
Sounds
on how
good.
much we need to talk.
Yeah. Honestly, and any kind of jaw dropping
Yep.
news.
And let us know in the comments if there's any topic you want us to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about or discuss.
definitely.
Yeah, we're open.
All right.
Pretty open to anything.
Bye.